Welcome to the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, where we connect the wisdom and experience of ministry leaders to the realities of ministry in the trenches. We journey with ministry leaders through all the hidden aspects that help us to become fruitful ministers. Here at the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, we discuss the stuff that no one told you about Catholic ministry and strive to help ministry leaders succeed from the beginning. Our hosts are Christy Cabanis, the Director for Missionary Discipleship for the Diocese of Cleveland, and Sarah Jarzembowski, the Director for Marriage and Family Life at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish in Crofton, Maryland. Please show your support for our efforts by clicking like and subscribe and commenting below. And now here are Sarah and Christy. Do you think we don't have 20 minutes to talk? Another 20 minutes. We've been on for an hour and a half.
Way more than that.
I don't have another 20 minutes.
Way more than that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we do. So hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Christy and I have been on for an hour and a half. We have been chatting about our next season. Can you believe it's season 4?
No, wow, really?
I think. Yeah, season 4.
Oh my goodness.
We're heading into season 4. And before we go any further, I want to say to everybody, we have legit taken a break from like posting, looking at everything. We took a legit holiday break from like right before Thanksgiving, November through right now after the New Year's. We took a legit break. And because we took a legit break, we didn't even look at our Facebook page. So
we don't recommend anybody ever doing that ever.
Yeah, at least put filters on your Facebook page, because Facebook contacted me and said, yeah, so you're not responsible for what other people post, but you might want to look because there's some lovely ladies that are being posted onto your page, and wow, did we have some buns of steel on our page? Sorry about that, folks.
So sorry.
We're bombarded with spam of buns of steel.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, we said some prayers for these ladies and those who are around them.
We also threw holy water on our computers. No, we didn't.
But I did pray for them because, I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into making those decisions.
Whoops.
So I tightened up our filters and I deleted a lot of things and I banned a lot of people in the last week or so. So sorry about that. But we took a legit break. And
yes,
Christy, I'm really proud of us for doing that because I think we really needed it. And I don't know about you, but December was high anxiety, high stress. There was a whole lot going on both. I think I hit my limit of like how much I could do professionally and personally at the same time. Like I hit that limit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I did not. I had the opposite. I had a slow December that was very relaxing. I had a vacation time and that I didn't realize that I had that needed to be used or loosed. And so I was off work from the 19th of December until the 2nd of January. And yeah, the workload was lighter and easier. And then just taking the break was good for me. So yeah, I was, you guys, official, like checked out for December. And I did need that break, which was all good. It was wonderful. But yeah, also I had, in case you didn't hear me, official apologies for taking a break from all of the things and not paying attention to what was going on. So, but we're back now. We're talking about what we want to do this season. And we thought we would give you guys a little preview here in this conversation about what we want to talk about coming up for season 4 of Catholic Leadership Network. Sarah, you want to?
Yeah, season 4. So we started with kind of like, you know, well, what's personally going on in my world, you know, because it revolves around me. It does not. But, you know, one of the things that I do not, I've never done children's ministry before this job. So I feel really inadequate at my job, right? I now have the theological background. I've graduated with my master's degree. Okay,
Mhm.
I've got that. I still look things up. I still got some things that I feel whatever, but I now know where to look for things, right? So I got that. But like when it comes to like looking at these adorable, 6, 7, 8, 9 year olds, I had an event last night and I felt like I was just talking at them. And I'm like, this is just awful. I feel so bad for these kids. I am inadequate for this. What can I do to make this more fun for them? I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was fine. Whatever. Um, for the parents, I'm sure it had some significance. It was the Holy Spirit moves, whatever, whatever, whatever. But I feel like, how do I take the resources that I have for this topic and how do I tweak it to with stuff that I don't know. And what I don't know is how to connect it for children.
Mm.
Some people I'm sure don't necessarily know the theological stuff. I don't know the children's stuff. I don't know how to make it more fun and engaging for the children. And so that's what we really just spent the last hour and a half talking about is how do we take materials that we have and we all have our books, our resources, our materials that we're using and the question is, how do we tweak it for our parish uh ministries, right? So each of our parishes has their own charism. Um, and each of us has our own gifts and charisms. And how do we tweak it for those realities?
Mhm.
Right. So what are our go-to resources for tweaking? Um, and then how do we do that?
Right, and I think that the other side of that is, having been in a leadership role with, catechetical leaders, one of the other things that I see is the, folks that don't have degrees or background feeling afraid of, like, "I don't know what I don't know, so I don't," and the that I don't know if someone says it's something incorrect theologically, or I don't know if there's an area in here where I could just, use this, activity as part of, but not use the content that accompanies the activity, because there's a better way to say this to my people. I think there's a both andness there. The other part of it that we were talking about, Sarah, was th- the idea that formation and folks, if you read catechetical documents, writings, I was reading something this week that was from Cardinal Dulles, I believe, and he was talking about models of catechesis, and this talk it's quite old at this point, um, but it still applies of that we're not looking at formation in a linear path, is that relationship with God is something that is a growth model. And I would like for you to imagine, and I'll use a biblical term of a mustard seed, of like this little tiny thing that then, and I don't know if you know about a mustard plant, but it grows roots wide and long. And it also brings up a plant that is a zillion times larger than the seed itself whenever it begins. And that's how formation is going, is that, and that each person is growing in kind of these different directions and different ways, both and at the same time. And sometimes things are happening underground that we're not seeing, and then sometimes the plants coming up and forward, and that's expanding in that sort of a way. So how do we think about formation in these ways, and what is it that brings about that transformation in our lives? Sarah's specifically pointing, I think, to her master's degree and then also the job that she's doing. For me, when we were talking about this, it was when my kids were little and me experiencing their formation and the models that were used there that helped me to think about formation in a different way. So I think that there's lots to talk about here.
There is lots to talk about. And we'd love to get your insight, listeners, viewers on this,
Mhm.
about some of your insights and go-to resources. Like I have a couple of go-to resources for projects. Like I'm terrible at like those physical projects for topics. So I'll go to like Catholic icing for projects, like hands-on projects. Um And, there's a couple of, what did we say? Teachers,
Hey,
Hey
teachers.
Teachers, was another one that I'll go to. There's a Catholic teachers one that I'll go to as well, that I just pull resources from, because I'm like, okay, I need a St. Nicholas project, but I don't know what that looks like. Like, I know who St. Nicholas is. I want to share about St. Nicholas. I can tell the story of St. Nicholas, but I want them to do something with St. Nicholas. Right.
Hmm.
And so I went to, I think, the Catholic teachers one, and we made miters, red miters with them, with the little um cotton swabs, cotton balls on the ends, and we made them. It was adorable. They looked really stinking cute. I wouldn't have thought about that. I just don't have that brain, right? I just don't have that brain. So, you know, so these are some things. Like, do you have a good go-to resource for some things? Let's start to pull our resources together. Do you have some, Catholic content creators that you go to for some of these creative things, or the theology of it? If you're, I'm not really sure about the theology of some things. So these are the people that I go to for theology. So Christy and I are going to kind of connect with some of these areas through season 4. And we're going to take a look at that, and that, that nonlinear theology that we're talking about here. At my parish, we're not using a linear theology. We're using a family faith formation. There's no classroom to it. It's not first grade, second grade, third grade. It's topic oriented. So that creates another whole way of looking at things. So, how do we get it all together so that, my 8th graders aren't bored because we're looking at it from a second grade perspective? Like, how do we do all of that? Lots for us to look at. If there's anybody you'd like to hear us interview, we'd love to know who you're interested in. If you would like to come on, you just tap yourself and let us know. We are all about, connecting with people who are in the trenches and having one-on-one conversations with folks. So, what did I miss, Christy? You were taking lots of notes there. What did I miss?
I was. Well, some of those notes, and we're not ready to reveal it yet, or who the guests might be on this show this season. So we can't tell you guys till we get the permission from those folks. So I don't want to hurt people's feelings or get anyone's hopes up as we talk about any of that part of it.
We're getting our hopes up.
Yeah, right. Getting our own hopes up. Because listen, kids, some of the people are very exciting. So at least exciting for Catholic nerds like myself. And as usual, we want to be talking to people that are, Catholic famous, so to speak, that are way up on the tiers of names that you probably know and have heard of. And then we also do want to talk to people that are in the trenches, that are doing this every day, that are having the creative ideas, because you are the folks that are living the life and doing the things, and you have something to say to this conversation. So just like Sarah said, if you are doing these sorts of things in your parish and you're finding that there's ways that you're able to connect with folks, please raise your hand, tell us about yourself, and let's have a conversation, because the whole point of this show is to be a resource to others. So I think that's important as well. But yeah, I think one of the other things that I think you missed, Sarah, in there was, we want for people to see their Catholic faith as a theological lens to see the world. And that sounds complicated, but it's this way of living and being that's beyond, like, we don't just put on the nice clothes and the nice face when we show up at church, but that we live this life out at the grocery stores and the PTA and the everydays that we treat our families, and that there's a way of living that changes the way that we respond to the world.
Ooh, I love that. That's so true. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, everybody. So this is where we are. This is how we're going to move forward. And we would love your help and insights to do that. So hopefully we'll be back soon with our lineup and with a new guest. So thank you for your support. Please click like and subscribe. Please share this with those in your parish and those who would find this series beneficial and helpful. And that's what we've got for now. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you later. Peace. Thank you for joining today's podcast. Please click the like and subscribe. And if you find this important to the conversations you're having in your local ministry, Please share and join the conversation in the comments below. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Catholic Leadership Network podcast.